There's very few concrete pads that even remain. The RVs were swept away, the concrete was swept away. I mean, the little ground is scoured away.
It looks like a hurricane tore through Texas hill country. But this storm had no name and no warning.
We realized that the water is rising really fast.
Car horns screamed as vehicles shorted out underwater.
We start banging on everybody's door, getting people out.
If you were lucky, someone banged on your door. If not, this is how you woke up.
Was this like a worst case scenario because it's the holiday?
Absolutely. They were full. They have 14 reservations missing. I have 6 people missing.
If you didn't get out on time and you were in an RV, this is unsurvivable. Look at this. This RV shredded, wrapped around the tree. There's another one there, and then you can see another one down the river. This whole area was full of RVs, cabins. Everyone was here for the holiday weekend. This is a really popular area to celebrate the 4th of July. And it's gone.
Everybody lost everything. There were some people that were able to get out, but only in their underwear. With their dogs, nothing else. Nothing else.
No time.
No time.
The forecast called for up to 6 inches of rain. Up to twice that fell. People went to bed believing that they'd wake up to fireworks, not flash floods.
I was expecting rain, but not a flood.
I slept through it.
It was the last night we didn't know anything. It was when we woke up this morning.
The thunder was crazy, and I couldn't sleep. So at 2:30, I started checking because it was just non-stop, and it was hard rain.
Along the Guadalupe River, at least 18 summer camps sat directly in the flood's path. At one camp alone, officials say around 20 girls were unaccounted for. Parents and guardians lined up at a nearby elementary school, waiting to hear if their child's name would be called.
Some very emotional moments happening behind me. In the school bus are children who were at their overnight camps. So there's a lot of summer camps that are located right along the Guadalupe River. And so many of these parents had no idea if their children were okay or not. The river rapidly rising in the early morning hours, washing away cabins and sadly taking numerous lives along the river. These kids being brought from their camps here to the elementary school to be reunited with friends and family.
We saw that it had flooded up here and just kind of didn't know, and the not knowing is the worst part. So both her and my son are real strong swimmers, so I wasn't real worried about them as far as in the water. But you know, water moving that fast is insane. That's all you can think about.
In the town of Hunt, the water hit harder. It took high-profile military vehicles just to reach the survivors, pulling up like lifeboats on wheels, soaked, shaken, silent. The survivors climbed aboard, their lives reduced to whatever they could grab.
We get flash flood warnings on our phones all the time. It's like the Amber Alert, or you live in Texas, you don't really think much of it, and obviously we were wrong.
This chilling video captures the river rising in real time, each lightning strike illuminating just how fast the water was climbing. Inside London's home, floodwater surged up the staircase, step by step, second by second, until escape was nearly impossible.
We got to the top floor, and it just kept rising and kept rising. And we were getting ready to go on the roof. Like I said, we had tied bed sheets together to bring ourselves to the top. And right before we climbed out, we realized that we were fine. Well, we realized we were fine because the water had obviously started to stop and go down, and fortunately we were okay.
Terrifying. That's the only way you can describe the force and fury of water. That is the Guadalupe River behind me. I'm in Kerrville, Texas, the Texas Hill Country. This section right here was a part of this apartment complex. It was lifted off its foundation, carried about 100 feet away into the parking lot. The only thing that stopped it, these old oak trees. I spoke with one girl who had just graduated from college. She had just left for work around 5 this morning, grumbling, of course, about working so early and on a holiday. but that might have saved her life.
Honestly, I've been running every day, and I would record like that little bridge, and every time I would get it in the clip, it was dry. Like there was barely any water, so I was never expecting it to hit this high up. At most, maybe like the railings, sure, but I didn't expect it to go from like dry to be this high up.
Within a day?
Within hours, because I was here right before 5, and by like 5:30, this was basically the way it is right now.
Where do you work?
HEB.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, did you ever think work would save your life, or?
No, I
You probably
did not.
hated those
No,
early
yeah.
hours.
I was like, I'm here so early, but I'm glad I did.
So agencies from all over are flying. I've seen the National Guard, local sheriffs, any helicopter basically available. I think they're flying up and down the Guadalupe River now, actively searching, hoping to rescue.
Of the roughly 237 people rescued on the first day, 167 were lifted out by helicopter. Many of them children from the flooded camps. State officials say the search won't stop, not during the day, not when the sun goes down, not until every missing person is found.
I think what's so astounding is just how high the debris mark is here. That's 20 feet at least.
The water was not like that. The water was raging.
My birds are gone.
In a matter of 10 minutes, it went from there, maybe 15 minutes, went from there all the way to my deck, right there, all the way, and another 5 minutes to get that way, but it was completely, I mean, I had 2 feet of water in my house.
About 4 months worth of rain fell in just 6 hours. The Guadalupe River rose to nearly 30 feet, possibly the highest ever recorded. We don't know for sure because the gauge broke.
You just see how the ground scoured from the force of the rapids of the water that ripped through here. There were numerous RVs, and they're all swept away. Sadly, one RV that was down there, that family was swept away. Amazingly though, the owner of this campground, search and rescue teams were able to get door to door, and most people escaped.
Like the catastrophic flood of 1987, campers were caught off guard. It happened overnight with no real warning during a holiday weekend when families were sound asleep. The Guadalupe is the kind of river that invites you to relax. That's what makes it so dangerous. It lulls you in, then takes everything. It was a perfect storm, and it built a Texas-sized catastrophe.
But we were really fortunate. Houses are replaceable, cars are replaceable, people are not, so.